Good evening, everybody, and welcome to my world with Nat, Relocation Concierge. So glad to have you here. And as I promised, today, Tuesday, April 19th, the director of the International School of Sosua is with us today, Mr. Jorge Ruiz. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And to the parents who are joining us tonight or who are going to be viewing this later on, I really hope that you see the value in what we're providing tonight. Really the information that you want for the education for your child when you decide to relocate to a new country. And let me tell you, there are so many things to think about. And right before we hopped on, because we started already talking, was one of the things that you discovered, and I'll backtrack after to my sort of my agenda, but is this idea of like the long term, right? That parents are looking at the long term and they want to know, where is my child going to go? And these kids are just starting out. So what is your take on that?
Yeah, I like as we were mentioning, one of the things that is impressive about the population that's coming to the North Coast right now is they're not looking for 1-2 year stints. They're thinking about long term. They're thinking 5, 6, 7, even 10 years ahead
Down the road. Yeah.
So their big questions is, what careers do your students study? Where do they usually go? How difficult is it to get scholarships? And what support do you have in place already in the school for that?
Yeah.
Those are huge questions that they have. So do you mind if I go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely. And then I will come back to what I have a task.
Okay. So it really, one of the first things is that, as a US accredited school, ISS is accredited by the United States, this accrediting company called Cognia. It's the largest accrediting company in the world. Yeah. At the same time, we're also accredited by the Dominican Ministry of Education. So we have those double accreditations, which means all of our students have automatically 2 diplomas that they're going for. So that is a strong push, a huge element for our students. It also means that there's a lot of pieces that we've been able to honestly comprehend. One of the things that ISS has is we have what is called a Secretaria Docente. It's more like a student registrar's office, but they are a liaison with the Ministry of Education. So their sole purpose in the school is to support with that transition, support with families who are coming in from all over the world, from different learning environments. Anything from paperwork, what certifications, what documents need to be translated, what needs to be legalized or apostilled, and even just sometimes even just the footwork of going to the district. The reason behind that piece is that here in the Dominican Republic, the Ministry of Education, not necessarily 100% organized. So there's a lot of little things that you have to just know.
Imagine that.
Yeah, you have to know the right person. So it's very important for us. Miss Danielka, that's our Secretaria Docente. She will go. There's a district office here in Sosua. There's another regional office in Puerto Plata, and then there's obviously the ministry in Santo Domingo. And in many cases, the paperwork, we automatically start requesting it as soon as people are accepted into ISS. We say, you need this, because this is going to support you in the process. Once they're enrolled, everything's great because they're automatically in the system. So long term, what does that look like in the end? Well, once you're in the system, that means that you already have your Dominican diploma. Because of our accreditation, you have your US diploma, which means the world is completely open for you. You don't have to do a lot of jumping obstacles, a lot of loopholes. People who aren't accredited, schools that are not accredited in the Dominican Republic, tend to have to do more advanced placement courses. They have to fill out more applications. They have to fill out more paperwork. They have to prove that they have adequate English. So they might have to take the TOEFL test. They might be asking to be taking additional courses or additional tests or prove what is being taught in those courses. But because we are US accredited, we are considered as a regular school in the United States. Thus, automatically, that barrier is eliminated. So that's a very great thing for our student population to have. The Dominican diploma is also very powerful because it really depends where you want to study and what you want to study. The US diploma is not received equally in all parts of the world. So we've actually had a great experience using the Dominican diploma for students who are going to France, Italy, Switzerland, Spain, Canada, and obviously all of Central and South America. Their diploma is received higher than the US diploma, and then fill in the gaps with the US diploma for all the others. So it's great because it does open up the world for you. When you are just US accredited or just Dominican accredited, you're kind of have like one eye is covered. With this, like it's all over the place.
And wouldn't it be fair to say that, you know, the fact that kids are coming in from all different countries, they're getting this international experience, and that has to be looked at, you know, on an application as something that is pretty valuable.
Yeah, one of the things that, for example, we work on, we teach college preparation in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade automatically. It's a separate course. As early as 10th grade, we are already working with your personalities types, your vocation. And we tell them that everything is a trifecta. So you got to think about your triangle. So you as a person, for universities and, you know, post-schooling education, they're going to look for three things. They're going to look for your academics.
Yeah.
But that's not it. Before, everybody thought it was just academics, but it's academics. And it's who you are as an actual person off campus. So, you know, what hobbies do you have? Are you in the arts? Are you in sports? Are you in a church group? You know, they want to see consistency, creativity, determination.
Yeah.
You know, because some people say like, oh yeah, you know, 1 year I took baseball, 1 year I took soccer, 1 year I took ballet, 1 year I took taekwondo. That's inconsistent. And then the third piece is that you're a community member. So what did you do during your time wherever you were, right? So it could be, you know, we have what they're called lifers, which is students who've been with us since they were 2 years old. So what distinguishes what a lifer can do for their community to somebody who just came in their 12th grade year, or just came in for middle school, or just came in for primary? What did you contribute to not only your school community, but the Sosua community, the Cabareta community, the Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, and so on? So when you fill in that triangle, that's what they're looking for. It's great to be an international school because obviously as an international school, you automatically know that they are being exposed to many different things. You know, they're being exposed to different cultures, different perspectives, different points of views that you usually wouldn't get in a regular just British issued school, or just US accredited school, or just Dominican school.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So it is this other realm. So obviously they know that the school itself has had to adapt how it teaches and what it does, and what it offers their students, so that it fits all those different nationalities. And that way, you know, our students, and just today, one of my seniors said she got into Arizona State University.
Yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
Yeah, she got into Arizona State University. We have one of our other seniors got into all her choices in Canada, from University of Toronto to Western Ontario University, multiple different places.
Fantastic.
We have a student.
That's something to celebrate. That's something to celebrate for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I feel like you've already answered this question now by everything you've said, but the, you know, the vision and the mission that the school has for its students, can you sort of like round that up a little bit for the parents listening?
Sure. So ISS is basically dedicated to two major elements, right? We're looking for your educational excellence and social consciousness. So it's the educational excellence that every child deserves, and the social consciousness that the world deserves. So those two phrases is what basically builds an ISS hurricane, which is our mascot. So when we say that you have the heart of a hurricane, you know, that's because yeah, we've built you with all this academic stuff. You know, you got your rigor, you can communicate, you can collaborate, you can work in
Yeah,
teams, you got your
yeah,
maths and your sciences, but you're also a socially conscious being. You know, you understand different points of views, you can hold your ground, you can debate, you can collaborate, you can build, you know, big projects with different
yeah.
students. We travel abroad, you can perform, you can work on your community service project, service learning. So
It's really
that's
the
the idea.
wholeness, eh? Like the
Yes,
wholeness of the child.
that's
Yeah,
it's got to
absolutely.
be the holistic being. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the questions I often get from parents who are reaching out to me is, you know, if I put my child in an international school in the Dominican, or I suppose another country as well, and they decide to go back to their home country, what does that look like for them? Like, is there a report card? Is there something that they can show the school that, oh, my child has been going to school? Like, can they reintegrate into in their home, I guess their home country education system?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's also one of actually the requirements to be in an accredited school is that we have to have a system that is internationally recognized.
Perfect. Okay.
So from pre-K2, which is our one year olds with 8 months, all the way through sixth grade, we use standard-based report cards. So basically what we're looking at is a progress of how you're doing. Children are not considered to, you know, walk into the classroom and have mastered everything. So it goes from emerging, developing, proficient to mastery.
Yeah.
And that's using our accreditation system. So
Perfect.
in literacy and mathematics, we have to use Common Core because of our US accreditation, but that's the same thing with Estudios Sociales and Lengua Español. We have all of that for science, social studies, the arts, and the physical education as well. Once they hit 7th through 12th, per our accreditation from the Ministry of Education, then it switches to standard, a standard 100% grade point average.
Okay.
9th through 12th graders receive their transcripts, just like everybody has in their
They
whole
would,
life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, but that's the hard part of the coming in and getting all that paperwork makes it much easier when you want to transition out, because you get two pieces of paper. You know, you get your transcript that it has a US accreditation and stamp on it, so you can go anywhere you want with it. But at the same time, we have families that say, no, you know, we just got, like, for example, I have one student who their family just got transferred to Mexico. You know, and last year another family was transferred to Ecuador, and another one to Peru. So when that happens, they say, you know, we don't need the US diploma, we don't need the US transcripts, we want the Dominican report card. So then we give them the Ministry of Education's report card. So that's the beauty of it, because it's an easy transition in and out.
Awesome. So then when somebody is coming to register, and we're going to put all the links in, I'll put all the links in the description to get in touch with the administration. So if you are thinking of wanting to tour the school, or you need more information, what does a parent need to bring to register a child, or maybe what are the steps that they need to consider?
Well, the first thing we would highly recommend is that you contact Barbara Farina, who is our admissions officer. Our website has all that information. So when you go to our website, there's on the top right corner, it says, you know, be a hurricane. And that's for either applying or admissions. And then you'll see all our admissions policies. There's a form there that you can fill out. And then Barbara will contact you automatically. The usual things is to set up an appointment and set up a tour. Okay, so for that, that's free of cost. You can come on campus and tour the campus without a problem. As soon as you say, you know, yes, I want my child to apply, then we request a letter of recommendations, their previous report cards or progress reports from their school. And then the last thing is an admissions test. The admissions test is only for kinder onward. It is our parameter of data, so that we have an understanding of where they lie in the groups, and we have a general understanding of who they are. And those are like the little basic things. Barbara, what she basically does is she speaks a lot to the parents, talks a lot about, you know, where are they coming from, what type of schooling did they have before? What is it, the general makeup of the family? Are there brothers and sisters? Is it a joint family? Is it a mixed family? And what are you looking for? Why are you coming to ISS? It's good for us to have an idea
Yeah, absolutely.
why that happens. And then we have
Perfect.
conversations with the students.
So any other paperwork that we need to know about, or transfers, or, I mean, some of the topics we talked about before were transportation, paperwork, are those things that sort of can be taken care of at that stage as well?
In that first meeting, right after the admissions, what Barbara does is she compiles all that information and then gives it to the admissions team, where I'm obviously part of that team. So the counselors and all the principals, we sit down together and we review all of our incoming students. We say, for example, if they might need some reinforcement before coming in, if maybe they need reinforcement and apply again. If we see that there is somebody that is definitely almost there, but we don't want them to struggle, because for us, it's very important that we're doing what's best for the student and what's best for the ISS community as well. So, some people are always saying, well, it's okay, just put them in and we'll figure it out later. I say, no, you need to understand, like, for us, it's really important that your child is feeling adequate when they come in, has everything that they need, and that you are prepared and they are prepared, and we are prepared to receive them as part of our family.
Absolutely.
So we go through those stages, and that's when Barbara then says, okay, you've been accepted, this is the paperwork you need. So it's the usual things that you would need, like vaccination records. You have to fill out a medical form from a doctor that just basically lets us know certain things about allergies, if they have any sort of condition that we need to know of, so that our in-house doctor, because we have an in-house doctor, can have all that in ready for them. Just some paperwork, some parent-teacher association information, and that's pretty much it. So it's mostly like the previous school's paperwork, which includes that letter of recommendation, and then filling out those forms.
Perfect. I feel like we've covered all like the administration stuff. I know there's fun stuff that goes on at ISS. Yeah. But one of the things so the academic calendar for you guys starts around what date? Do you have like a specific week in the year?
It's usually like the third week of August.
Third week of August. And then do you follow all they're not statutory holidays here, but all the religious holidays, I suppose?
Yes. So per our both accreditations, we have quite a lot of holidays off. So we follow all the Dominican holidays. We also follow for example, US Thanksgiving.
Oh, really? Okay.
We do US Thanksgiving as well. We don't necessarily close the school for the Jewish holidays, because we have a very active Jewish community, but they're obviously their religion is respected. So they have excused absences. We have staff members who are off campus depending on those days, and students that we know are not going to be present during that time. But we start mid-August, and we usually end in the first 2 weeks of June.
Perfect.
It really depends on the calendar and where it falls, because as you know, the US Thanksgiving is always the last Thursday of every November. However, the Dominican holidays change every single year. So they might have an established date. Like, for example, an easy one is Dia de la Altagracia, which is our patron saint, in January. That's January 21st. However, although religious holidays are not meant to be moved, sometimes they are moved because to accommodate, to accommodate mostly like the free zones and the factories. So sometimes we have really long weekends. Like this year, we had a really long weekend because we had Dia de la Altagracia that was on a Friday, and then we had Dia de Duarte, who's our founding father, was on a Monday. So we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday free.
There was like, I think January was like 3 weeks, and each week was 4 days or something like that for us. It was like after being off for 3 weeks.
It was off. It was 4 days off every day. But that's usually their calendar. And then every month, as you mentioned, it's action packed. There's always something happening. I could list them month by month, from back to school nights to, for example, next week we have our National Honor Society charity concert that our National Honor Society students host an event in favor of 2 local charities. So everybody just pays in, enjoy some good music, and then the charities get all the benefits. You were able to visit us during the International Day a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, that was really neat to see everybody.
Yeah,
A
we
lot of
celebrate
pride. There was a lot of pride that day. I could tell a lot of pride.
Yes.
And so I will segue from the International Day. There was a lot of food, and food is always a concern for parents, including myself. But you have a full cafeteria or a full kitchen that you run can kids bring their own lunches as well if they wanted to? Yeah, that's not a problem. So you guys serve a full lunch and snacks as well, or is it just lunch?
Snack and lunch. So
snack and lunch.
Parents can pay for a meal plan. They can do daily, monthly, yearly. Obviously, the prices change. You can actually see our menu. It's on our website every month. It's uploaded, so you can see our April menu right there. It's delicious. It's probably the best place that I've ever worked at that has the best cafeteria, including every place that I ever was as a student.
And is there like, I'll put the link in, but is there like a good variety of, like, is it mostly vegetarian, or is it a mix of, as my daughter would say, is there a carnivore menu?
There is everything. Cool. So for example, like today was pasta day. So every Tuesday is pasta day. Like, that's really easy. Every Tuesday is pasta day. And they're, 3 sauces. So one of them was just a regular tomato sauce. One of them was cream with spinach. Then they also had one that had just like lots of bacon in it. It's always freshly squeeze juice, freshly squeezed juice every day. We have our fruit truck and veggie truck that comes in every morning, drops everything off fresh. But it moves around. So for example, yesterday was different. Yesterday, it was rice with noodles with stewed chicken. So good variety. Yeah, it moves around. Friday is always the fun day. Friday is the day you're going to find like tacos and burritos, or pizza, or hamburgers and hot dogs. I think that's a standard, right? Fridays are just fun. I think it's fun for everybody. Absolutely. Yeah. So I love the way we're segueing, because now I want to, one of the questions that always comes up is extracurricular. So we talked earlier about the whole academics, the being part of the community, but what is it? What does ISS offer up and beyond? I mean, obviously the academics are, a big deal, but there has to be some fun time too. So what do the students get to participate in? Or I mean, I know a couple, but they're a bigger list. There's actually 2 realms to that, because there's a lot of the things that we do during our academic time, right? During our art class, our music class, and our physical education classes and our library classes. Those courses are constantly preparing students for different things. So for example, our art course and our music course, we belong to this association called ACAS, which is Schools in Colombia, Central America, and Mexico. So it's like this big association. And we are going to participate in an art exhibit, like a digital art exhibit. Okay. So we can do that with our major groups. We have our bands. We have a middle school band and we have a high school band, and our 4th and 5th graders are preparing themselves to be a band as well. So they have all these performances at different times. They're going to be performing at the charity concert. However, then after school, it's a different story, because then starts our after school program. So in the after school program, we have basketball, volleyball, soccer, flag football. We have beginners, Lego, robotics. We have Spanish classes for speakers of other languages, a beginner Spanish course. We also have Model United Nations and Debate Club. There's also cooking classes, sewing classes, chess, art, and drama. For the little ones, because we do that for a year, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, from 2 to 5. We just have an afternoon course, which includes all of that. So they usually, it shifts around, one day it's very gross motor skills, one day it's artistic, one day it's fine motor skills. So they're learning how to sew. Another day they're literally just basic cooking classes. So now those are all the things. Our campus, as soon as it's 3 p.m., the bell rings. Our kids don't leave. they're usually there till 5.
And that's a really good sign, right? That if they are staying, it's because they are enjoying. I don't want to keep you too much longer, but is there one like last bit of advice or something like parents should know about, moving here and putting their kids in a new school?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think just moving. I've been in international education for many years now. I think it's all about knowing what you want for your child. I have that. As the educator amongst all my friends. My friends always call me up and say, Jorge, where do I put my kid in? Where do I put my kid? What do I do? And
What do I think? Yeah.
Who are you as a person, and what do you want for your child? Are you looking for morals and values? Are you looking for sports and extracurricular? Are you looking for strong academics? Are you looking to, kind of like how you said, like, I know I'm going to be here for 2 years and then I'm going to transfer somewhere else, then you probably want to have something that's very structured, because it becomes wobbly when it's not structured. So that's one of the things that I would recommend. I've seen, just right now we're dealing with the case of a family that's coming from a place that's not accredited, doesn't have all their paperwork. And it's really difficult for them to, they were able to get all their paperwork from us, but the ministry is saying, we don't recognize these 2 years. These 2 years don't exist. So it's very difficult when you see that. It's anything that you're doing coming to the Dominican Republic, just be well educated, look it up. Before you buy a vehicle, make sure that you find out where that vehicle came from. Before you rent a house, make sure that everything that is on there as well, that the outlets are grounded, things like that.
Make sure that Natalie goes to check the place for you.
Yeah. Check Natalie's website. And her world, and you'll probably find some better places.
Exactly.
In our case specifically, ISS, the thing that attracted me the most when I moved here and I took this position was that I felt I was coming into a family. I was coming into the community. You walk in through the door, everybody knows your name. The security guard knows the name of every single child. You go to the cafeteria, you stand in line, and the servers and the people in charge of the cafeteria are not requesting tickets or who are you, or are you eating? Is they see and they say, well, Natalie ate, Jorge ate. They know everybody.
They know. Yeah.
They know.
And that's a really,
uh-huh.
It's really important when you're coming to a new place.
Yes.
Yeah, when you're coming to a new place, you want to have. It's like when you go to your favorite restaurant and they know your name.
Exactly. It's being able to walk in and everybody knows what you want, what you do. My girls, for example, I have twin girls and I have a boy. My twin girls are 7 and my boy is 11. And at the beginning, I was like, there's a cafeteria there's a set menu. You're going to have to branch out. I was me and the dad, branch out and eat your veggies. But no, they spoil them. They spoil all the kids. I didn't know it was that much of a community feel. The kids walked up to them and say, oh, Natalie, we know you don't eat rice with noodles. We made you special rice,
Oh, wow. That's nice.
I think that's the thing that I love the most of ISS is that in all that realms of academics and sports and what happens in the school with the parents and the PTA, which is amazing, to what happens outside the school, throughout all of it, it's one big community. Everybody knows everybody is at ISS.
Yeah. I visited and I've enjoyed it, and I'm not part of it, but I feel kind of like I've got this special spot. So I'm very grateful for the time you gave us tonight. And if you have any other questions for Mr. Ruiz, make sure that you reach out to ISS, to admissions, to the email that's in the description. If you're thinking of relocating, let's have a chat, make sure that we can make it as seamless as possible. I can introduce you to the school and make sure you get on a tour with them. But whatever you choose, I think as you said it right, choose for you and your family, and it will be the right choice. Yeah. Have a great evening, everyone. Mr. Ruiz, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And I will see you soon, maybe at your next event.
Yeah.
Have a great night, everybody. Bye for now.